They mocked his faded name tag every morning as if humiliating him was part of the office routine, whispering that the cleaner should have thrown such an old, useless thing away. But Thomas held onto that cracked plastic tag like a lifeline to a past that nobody else could see. His shoes were worn thin, and his hands carried the smell of soap and metal polish from years of scrubbing floors before dawn and long after midnight. He moved quietly, blending into the walls while executives brushed past him without even acknowledging he existed. They didn't see the dignity in the way he straightened every picture frame, or the gentle pride in how he wiped every fingerprint from the polished glass doors. To them, he was invisible. To him, invisibility was safer than being remembered for the wrong reasons. One cold winter morning, the office was buzzing about the company's grand anniversary gala. The CEO, a man respected and feared by many, would deliver a speech about legacy and resilience. Thomas prepared the hall for hours, every chair lined, every glass shining, every corner spotless. As he worked, he overheard two young employees discussing the founder AJUS tragedy, a devastating fire that had happened 20 years ago. A young staff member, identity unknown, had risked his life to save the founder's son. The hero disappeared before anyone could thank him. Thomas paused, the mop handle tight in his grip, a shadow of memory crossing his tired eyes. Later that afternoon, the interns passed by him joking loudly. Why does he even need that stupid tag? Nobody cares what his name is, one chuckled. Probably just something he picked up from the trash. Their laughter echoed down the hallway, but Thomas forced a small smile. The words didn't hurt as much as they once did. He had grown used to being misunderstood. What mattered was that he knew who he was, even if the world didn't. As night settled and guests filled the dazzling hall, Thomas remained by the side door, ready to clean spills before they became stains. He carried a tray of empty glasses when a clumsy manager knocked into him. Red wine splashed across the pristine floor and gasps filled the room. "What's wrong with you? Watch where you're going," the manager snapped, shoving the tray aside. The crowd laughed. Thomas immediately knelt to clean, but the bump had loosened his name tag. It clattered to the ground and slid across the marble. One of the interns picked it up, wiping the smudged surface. "Can anyone even read this? Look at how cheap and cracked it is." They laughed again. Thomas timidly extended his hand to retrieve it, but before he could grasp it, a voice ruptured the air, sharp as a blade. "Give that back. Now." Conversation halted. The CEO, standing under the golden lights, stared at the intern's hand. His face had gone pale. Everyone watched as he stepped down from the stage, ignoring the speech he had just begun. He took the tag, eyes scanning the faded letters. His hand trembled. "Where did you get this?" he asked. Thomas stood slowly, confused and nervous. "It's mine, sir." The CEO's lips parted in a silent breath as disbelief washed over him. "What is your name?" he said, but not out of formality, out of hope. Thomas swallowed. Thomas Hale?" The CEO's eyes filled with a storm of emotions. Recognition, guilt, gratitude tangled into one. He whispered, voice cracking, "It's you." People exchanged puzzled glances. The CEO stepped closer. "You don't remember me, do you?" Thomas blinked. "I'm sorry, sir. I've seen many faces. I don't expect anyone to remember mine." The CEO shook his head. "I remember yours. I was a boy, trapped in a fire. Flames everywhere. I couldn't breathe. I thought I would die until someone burst into the room and carried me out." His voice grew louder, trembling. "A man with this exact name tag?" Gasps echoed. The cleaner, the forgotten man, was the hero of the company's survival story. Tears gathered in the CEO's eyes. "You saved my life. You saved my family's future." Thomas stared at the tag in disbelief. Memories of smoke, heat, and a terrified child's scream tore through him. He had run before anyone could see the burns on his arm, afraid that being noticed would bring consequences he wasn't ready to face. He never imagined that boy survived, let alone became the CEO standing in front of him now. The CEO bowed, deep, sincere, humbling. "Thank you, Mr. Hale." The room exploded into murmurs. "He's bowing to the janitor? I can't believe it." Those who laughed earlier lowered their heads, ashamed. Thomas tried to smile, but his chest tightened. "Sir, I only did what anyone would do." "No," the CEO insisted, lifting his gaze. "You did what no one else dared, and we failed you. We let you fade into silence." He declared to the crowd, "Tonight we honor a hero." But Thomas held up his hand gently. "Please, don't." The CEO paused. "Why not?" Thomas looked around the grand hall, polished elegance hiding years of hidden pain. All I've ever wanted was to work quietly and leave quietly. His voice softened further. The man I was burned in that fire. I don't know if he'll ever come back. The CEO's throat tightened. You deserve more than this job. Whatever you want, it's yours. Thomas shook his head. I don't want to be remembered for one night, and I don't want to live in the past. Then stay here. Let us give you a new future. Thomas smiled faintly, sad yet warm. You've already given me more than you know. You remembered. After the celebration ended, guests left with stories they'd never forget. But Thomas stayed until the last candle went out, sweeping confetti into careful piles. His movements were slow but peaceful, as if he were saying goodbye. When he finally stepped outside, snowflakes drifted under the streetlights. The city was quiet, holding its breath. Thomas reached into his coat pocket, pulling out the name tag one last time. The crack down the center looked like a scar, something healed but not forgotten. He placed it gently on the front steps of the building, smoothing a small note beneath. Names fade, but kindness remains. Then he walked into the stillness of the night, leaving soft footprints in the snow until they vanished near the corner. The next morning, the CEO arrived early, searching the halls for Thomas, but he was gone. Only the old name tag remained, gleaming under the rising sun. The CEO picked it up carefully, as if it were a fragile piece of the company's soul. He never found Thomas again. But from that day on, he kept the faded tag in his office, not framed, not displayed, just resting on his desk where he could see it every day. Whenever a new employee joined, he'd tap the tag gently and say, "This company stands today because someone ordinary once chose to be extraordinary." And when someone asked why the CEO sometimes stared at that old piece of plastic with tears in his eyes, he would simply answer, "Some heroes don't want statues. They just want to be remembered, not by crowds, but by hearts." To this day, when someone notices a cleaner or a quiet worker forgotten in the corner, they whisper the lesson of Thomas Hale. Never underestimate a faded name tag, because behind it, there might be a story worth bowing for.